Yo. 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 What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman. Sorry about that. I muted my own. July 11th, 2026. This is number 55 in the series of Stormybman Live. This is an open mic discussion, live stream. Want to talk about the things that are going on in the sport of boxing. I did a live yesterday and decided that, after things dragging a little bit today, I said, well, I'll come out and do something today. Only to keep the channel live and thriving, but at the same time, I am still terribly unhappy with what's going on in our beloved sport, man, with these top or so-called considered top fighters. And there are some smaller shows going on today. I got word that Joe Joyce was stopped again today. He took on Artem Suslenikov, and Artem was a fighter that a lot smaller than Joyce, coming in at 6'1", and Joyce is now 40 years of age. Artem was 30, and he stopped Joyce in the 11th round. It's very unfortunate that Joe Joyce has hit this patch where he has fallen from the status that he upheld for a number of years, where he was called the Juggernaut, a man that could take shots and walk through the storm and still deliver what he had to offer, and prevailed in a lot of instances until he ran across Zili Zhang, who was able to crack the granite that was Joyce's chin. They followed that up with a rematch where he stopped Joyce even worse in the second fight, because the first fight was stopped on cuts and Joyce's eye closing. The second fight saw Joyce get totally knocked unconscious, I think in 3 rounds. So it's very unfortunate that that happened to him. He has now lost, I think, 5 out of his last 6 fights, you know? And that's very unfortunate for Joe Joyce. So this is what we're dealing with in the sport of boxing. When you could talk about a fighter like Joe Joyce being at the top of the heap of fighters, never did get that world title shot. And it was unfortunate because it's quite possible he may have had a chance a few years back. His last resounding win was back in September of 2022 when he knocked out Joseph Parker late. I think that was in the 10th or 11th round of their fight. So it's very unfortunate, you know, but again, as I mentioned in my live yesterday, to reiterate what Pops John Witherspoon from Friday said, sometimes you get the dog, and then sometimes the dog gets your ass. And I'm not laughing at Joyce because I respect him. I respect what he was a limited fighter as far as technical proficiency, but he was strong. He had a good jab at one time. That jab was pulverizing, reminiscent of a young George Foreman's jab. And of course, with that granite-like chin, being able to take shots. But what was wrong with Joyce is they never worked on defense for him to be able to block those shots and not just take everything flush, because you can only take so many. You've only got a few. And that meter count is higher for some than others. But eventually you can crack the granite. And it's very unfortunate that that's where he's found himself. So, welcome everyone. We out here. I hope you're having a pleasant Saturday. Just here to talk some boxing this afternoon. Nothing in particular. I think I may open the phone lines up eventually as we, touch base on here. I want to see who we got in the building as we, get down into the show. Let me see here. I want to address, we're broadcasting multi-streaming on both YT and Rumble. There's a link for Rumble pinned in the chat because I would like to go exclusively over there as we get into the show. In about 15 minutes or so, we'll go right straight there. You guys who are here, you'll be able to click that pinned link in the chat, taking us right over there. Let me see who we got in the building. See if we can do this. I'm still working out the mechanics of what we do over here with these setups on StreamYard is coming around. They're really getting better at this. We got Black Martial Arts Society in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Good to see you out there. Hope you and the family doing well. LPREN is out there. What's happening with you? 225 Boxing Talk is out there. What's good with you, brother? Good to see you out there. Mark Wunderlich is in the building saying, touch that like button. Hashtag LDBC. Hashtag Bomb Squad. Hashtag Team Petty. Hashtag DHP. Yes, sir. Speaking of DHP, I got some merchandise on the way from DHP. Got a tee coming so I can proudly brandish my DHP when I'm doing the lives. Yeah. Universal Truth is out there saying salute, Sensei. What's good with you? Adrian Viet is back with us saying salute, Sensei, and peace. Peace to you, brother. Lone Star Steph is in the building, said, we're here, Storms. Be well, sir. God be with you. And chat family. Yes, sir. T Gritty says, I'm here too, Storms. Salute to the Rumble family. God be with you. Steph Brown, I got you. Thank you so much there, Steph, for supporting both channels, man. Del Riv is in the building today. What's happening, Del Riv? And the CDB is out there saying salute. What's good? K-Rod is back. What's good with you, K-Rod? 225 says, damn, Joyce had a good chin. Tough men get hurt in this sport, huh? Yep. Don't I say that all the time? I talk about that. I talk about it, man. You know what I mean? I'm one of the few people who talk about those things that should be spoken on, man, which is why I opened it up speaking on that man, because he's not a bum. He's not trash. He's a person that he only has so many in him, and his management failed him because they could have brought a coach in to help him with his defensive prowess and elevate that for the elite fighters that he's going to fight. All it take was a few techniques to show him so he can protect himself in there, because he, more than some others, was definitely deserving of a title shot. I think those are my sentiments. I'm not asking anybody to co-sign to that, but those are my thoughts about Joyce. King Style Productions is in the building. What's happening with you? He says, salute Sensei in chat. Chiquila Fields is out there. Salute to you, Chiquila. I appreciate you and your support. And thank you again for the cash out that you gave a few days back. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Macada's Mac of the South is in the building saying salute to the Grandmaster. Yes, sir. He says we live and exclusive. Jamal Davis is in the building saying salute, peace, and blessings. Yeah, smash the like button. Listen, man, I got a chance to listen to the brother 78 a little while ago. He was talking about Shakur Stevenson and how he is kind of like pretty much fed up with the guy. And, he's, not feeling, Shakur for his behavior, his antics and everything. But I've been trying to tell brothers for a while about some of these guys, because I saw certain things early on. And I'm not trying to make it like, oh, Stormy is Nostradamus or anything like that. No, it's just the familiarity of dealing with fighters in the gym and knowing how guys present themselves. When you get a guy that starts talking about how good he is, how great he is, and has yet to show it in the ring, but each and every opportunity for him to show it in the ring, he goes the other way, but he'll still talk that game. It's like a guy that's trying to, spit game to a woman or something. It's like he trying to coerce her and, trying to get her mind and all of that kind of stuff. But notice also, and 78 pointed it out in his live, salute to the general, he goes on these platforms where guys can't challenge him. I kind of spoke about that last night. He gives interviews and grants access to people who can't come at him with that solid stuff. But you guys know the brother Drew Titan, LLC, salute to Drew, plays that sound bite of Shakur all the time. I hate to lose. When he was in amateur. Excuse me, let me take a drink of water. I was eating peanuts earlier. I really shouldn't be eating peanuts, but sometimes we do things we're not supposed to be doing. Anyway, yeah. He's allowed people to have access that can't challenge him. That recent situation with Shannon Sharp was really annoying. And to hear him come out and talk about what he's had to say regarding the negotiations that were for Zuffa and the negotiations of possibility of a fight with he and Devin and all of that. Remember, he was totally in denial of everything. And then here it is, because the brother BFTB, he let the word out like a month ago. But they kept denying and delaying the information. And the information came forward, and it is what it is now. He signed over there to Zuffa. But he's still not projecting fighting Devin Haney yet, which is very interesting. And Dana White hasn't said anything about it yet either. Maybe it's because White is trying to make him feel secure with the fact that he's just signed. But if I know anything of my observations of White, that's not going to be a solid marriage. And from what White said at the presser, he signed a multiple fight, multiple year deal. So many fights over so many years. And you heard him say with Sharp, he says he fights 2 times a year anyway during that time when he was discussing things with Sharp. So we're talking about a 5 or 6 fight deal, possibly, maybe, with Shakur. He's 29. He said in another interview when he was being interviewed by that British woman a couple weeks back, he said he doesn't want to fight past 33. Think about this now. If he fights twice a year and he's 29, well, you got 4 years. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So we got to pay attention to these guys. When they think they're smart, remember, they still get punched in the face for a living. Right? Yeah. So, yeah. Shaquila says, my sentiments exactly. Mac of the South is out there. He says, salute family. We live and exclusive. Yes, sir. Ali Day Go is out there. Says, salute, bruh. Salute to you. EJ is in the building saying, Stormybman, salute, sensei. What's good with you, brother? Everybody else is saluting one another. It's coming in. Well, yeah, this is just interesting that Stevenson has put himself in such a position. It's like, hey, man, he has really, his stock has gone down. And it's interesting because he's getting ready to get paid the most he's been paid over here on Zuffa. The only balance to that is White will make him get in there in more competitive bouts than we've seen him in past time. So that's something to keep an eye out for. DP Rocker is in the building. What's happening with you, DP? Good to see you out there, bro. Yeah, smash that like button as you come in the building, brothers. So yeah, I'm just saying, man. But that's like, you know, there's a reason why last night when I did the live, I showed you guys my little thumbnail that was personally put together by BFTB per my request. This thumbnail right here, girlfriends, running interference in boxing. Yeah. These guys have all aligned themselves up with running interference in the sport of boxing. They've got things going a certain kind of way where you can't even enjoy the sport because they have got things headed off at the pass. Most notably, Gervonta Tank Davis, who was the name just going back a couple of years ago. Gervonta was out there and, you know, he was the man, so to speak, writing his own ticket, saying who he'd fight and everything, but not fighting any of the people who names would drop before. And also getting in trouble outside of the ring where we had said this, right? Especially the brother Drew Titan. He was saying that Gervonta is going that way where Mike Tyson went. The more you start to be in news outside of boxing, the more fast your career goes down the drain. And his latest escapades with Adrian Broner and all of that stuff, I don't like to go back and forth through those gossips, but I'm talking about the ring careers. This is ridiculous. And watching these guys really commit career deletion, this is ridiculous. Watching these guys. And Stevenson, just after Gervonta, is the catalyst of this, because he's got people thinking that he's friends and brothers with these others. When we talk about Richardson Hitchens, whom is a talent, but hasn't really accomplished a great deal. You know, Hitchens, he had a chance, you know, he really had a chance to do some things, and he went a different way. And it's very unfortunate because there's plenty for the guys to eat, right? There's plenty for the guys to eat out here in the sport. Hold on. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to pull something up for you guys so I can read off. I'm trying to pull something up so I could read off the stats here. Ridiculous, man. This is really interesting. Okay. I got to put in a different fighter's name to get this guy information. This is ridiculous, man. I have to find a better hold on. I was looking for okay. Now I think I know how to find it. Here we go. Pull up this chunk. And then I can get his, yeah. This is ridiculous that you got to do this because BoxRec is doing certain things with certain fighters because the WBA is something that they're, you know, they're not fully supporting. Okay, so here we are. I was trying to get to Hitchens' record. He's 20-0 with 8 KOs. He's 5'9". He's now 28 years of age. And he supposedly has the IBF super lightweight title. But this is the thing about him. Remember, he was supposed to fight, what's his name? Oscar. And he pulled out of that fight claiming illness after the weigh-in. After the weigh-in. Not before the weigh-in or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, Black Martial Arts Society. Hey, they killing us with their activities, bro. BF told me, because I had sent him, I had basically the whole picture that you see, but he was able to better put the faces and images in there for me correctly, right? Because I don't have that editor to do all of that. But he said he was cracking up laughing when he was putting that together for me. You see, if I learn how to use them apps and stuff, I'll be on that level with him and Drew with them memes that they be doing. But I just listen. But you could see exactly the message being conveyed. That's what's most important, guys and girls. That's what's most important. The message being conveyed. Girlfriends, running interference in boxing. That's 4 guys who are not gonna fight each other. Do you realize that? Think about it. If Keyshawn fought Shakur, Hitchens, and Tank, that's 3 fights for him. If Shakur fought Keyshawn, Hitchens, and Tank, that's 3 fights for him. If Hitchens fought Tank, Shakur, and Keyshawn, that's 3 fights for him. If Tank fought Hitchens, Shakur, and Keyshawn, that's 3 fights for him. Now, that's 12 bouts that you're not going to see. Think about that, people. 12 bouts. Between the 4 of them. And each one of them have held a title. Keyshawn has held a WBO. Shakur has held the WBC and the WBO. Hitchens has an IBF. And Tank has had the WBA. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Seriously. What are we doing in boxing, family? Think about that. Have you guys, I'm serious, have you guys had a chance to put that together before I said it? Because remember, you think about like, oh man, we're missing out on these great fights or whatever. Yes, we are. But didn't I just break that down? You're talking about a potential 12 bouts that are not going to happen. 12. And that's not even including rematches or whatever, right? And this is between 3 divisions: lightweight, super lightweight, and welterweight. That's it. So you got 333, 333, 333, and 3 divisions. Come on, man. These guys are definitely running interference in boxing. Growing with Soul in the building. He says, salute Sensei and the family. Yes, sir. Shaquila says, ooh, baby, I think I love you from head to toe. That's an old jam from Dave Mack, you know? Listen, and that's what they loving on each other, right? It's like, this is crazy what they're doing. Royal Constrictor, what's good? The brother Drew Titan is out there. He says, at work, sneaking in a listen. Hey, I appreciate you, Drew. I know you back on that grind, man, and they got you all over the place, but figure I have to provide some entertainment, you know? This is crazy, bro. But think about that. 12 fights that are off the table because of these guys and their sexual relationships. Huh? It's ridiculous. I can't tell you a time in the sport of boxing that I have seen such ridiculousness. I haven't seen it. But it's going on. And these guys are proud with this. But don't those folks, they have a lot of pride, don't they? Huh? They even, well, I ain't even gonna go there, but you know what I'm saying. Pride. No shame. Pride. Look at these dudes, man. Girlfriends. Jamal Davis says, Tank wants to fight Bam. Shaking my head. If Bam was naturally the same size, he would give Tank problems. But check this out, Jamal. Bam is smaller than Inoue. And Inoue is a higher profile fight, isn't he? So Tank has leapfrogged over Inoue now and looking to go to an even lower weight class fighter in Bam, who's still moving up and is barely adjusted to the bantamweight division. He just got there. Make this make sense. This is what we're talking about here, guys. It's ridiculous. And you see, you got that shadowy, ghost-like image of Mauricio behind them, right? That's done by design as well. Because fuckery always follows Mauricio wherever he goes. And you might as well say he got his fingers, all 5 of them, in the buttholes that are right in front of him right there. No Vaseline. No Vaseline. Ridiculousness, man. But this is what it is. They would have you believe that these are fighters to profile and to consider. Where? Why? Why? Why would I consider these guys? Corner Girl 66 in the building. What's good with you, Corner Girl? I ain't seen you in a minute. Welcome to the show. Glad to see you out there. Thank you for supporting. She says salute to the sensei in the chat. Yes. But this is, listen, Corner Girl, if you're just arriving, if you've been listening for a minute, it's fine. But I just broke down between these four guys. Convos with Cam, salute to you as well. I just broke down that these four guys are running interference in boxing. I'm calling it girlfriends running interference in boxing. You're talking about the possibility of 12 bouts between the four of them that are not going to happen in boxing because they won't fight each other. 12 fights! How many months in the year? Yeah. Salute to the general in the building. Yeah, 12 fights. So that means one per month of boxing that you're not gonna get because they sexuality get in the way, huh? Because it is not their manliness in the way or cowardice in the way. They sleep head to toe, huh? This is ridiculous. Tay-Tay is in the building. What's good with you, Tay-Tay? Brown sugar Tay-Tay, a little sis. Yeah, Cam, that meme is wild, ain't it? Courtesy my brother, BFTB. Put that together for me. Yeah. This is ridiculous. 78. I know you were cooking on Shakur earlier. I caught your video. But I've been waiting to do this one because think about it. You got four of these guys. I just broke it down. I don't know how long you've been listening, but I'll go over it once again. If you got Keyshawn and he fights Shakur, Hitchens, and Tank. That's 3 fights, right? You got Shakur and he fights Keyshawn, Richardson, and Tank. That's 3 fights. You got Hitchens and he would fight Shakur, Keyshawn, and Tank. That's 3 fights. And you got Tank who could fight Richardson, Shakur, and Keyshawn. That's 3 fights. 3, 6, 9, 12. That's 12 bouts that you're not going to get in boxing because they in love with each other. They in love with each other. It's ridiculous. Where in the world do they do this at, man? These guys may as well be Victoria's Secret models, huh? Because they ain't the model fighter that you want to see in boxing. They do not bring what we crave and desire, which is championship spirit, which is that whole thing about digging deep and positioning yourself to be the best. It's crazy. Joe Gagliardi, what's good with you? I see you out there. That's right, Chiquila. The rainbow is in full effect here. The rainbow is in full effect. The crying game. That's what we should call it, huh? And don't Shakur seem to be crying like every week now? Emotional. You know what's interesting, guys? He's got this reputation after defeating Teofimo Lopez. But he doesn't even realize that Teofimo sold his ode to him because he knew with the same confidence that Shakur had going into the fight against Teofimo that Shakur, out of these other three, is the only one that more than likely won't knock him out. So Teofimo, who has done a lot of bogus bull crap, right? He's not a well-liked man on this page at all. But he does have a sense of intellect because he recognized that if I fight Shakur, at least I could go 12 rounds with him. Richardson might get lucky and knock me out because he's a bigger guy, got that length and range and everything. Tank got that one-hitter quitter. And Keyshawn, on a good night, can send me good night. Yeah. So this is nothing to boast about, beating Teofimo. Nothing to boast about. You see, when you really put it in its proper perspective, it makes sense, don't it? Shakur didn't fight Joe Cordina. He didn't fight O'Shaquie Foster. He didn't fight Michelle Rivera. He didn't fight Pitbull Cruz. He didn't fight Subriel Matias. These are all guys that would have been more of a threat. But he's the best fighter in the world, he'll tell you. Growing with Soul says, testosterone at his finest. Yeah. Testosterone. That's perfect. Jimmy Bernard, I see you out there. Avenues Roofing, what's happening? Hey, Growing with Soul. I'll give you all the credit in the world for that because listen, we're going to use that word from now on, okay? So don't get mad because you put it out there with that testosterone. Oh, man. Tell them 78. That's perfect, ain't it? Testosterone. Now when I think of that word, and then I look at this photo, and I'm like, I can't help but to crack up laughing. Woo! You see, chat, this is why we support each other. This is perfect. Testosterone. Oh my goodness. That's perfect, man. I'm getting ready to write that down and write Growing with Soul's name because I like to give people credit when they do something. Yes, sir. That's it right there. But yeah, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Freaking ridiculous, man. But listen. I'm gonna open up the call-in lines and see if anybody want to call in and talk about this foolishness, man. You know, I'll open up the call-in lines. Let's see what the family got to say. Come on, family, you gotta show some support on this one, because you know it's important that we show support for one another, but it's also important to get the word out there about certain things. Okay, that was me just testing the line, making sure that it works. Just testing the line. Testosterone, yes, sir. Yeah. But this is, come on now, this is ridiculous, huh? It's ridiculous. Okay, we got 602 calling in the building. Who's on the line and what's on your mind? Welcome to the show.
Salute. Can say that's growing. What's up?
Hey man, what's happening with you, bro? Listen, that was timely, bro. That was timely. That was something. Hey, it's so perfect, man. That's why I had to say it a couple of times. Give you credit for that. Testosterone. Listen, bro. That's a mic drop.
I can't take the credit for it. I've seen a few brothers. I don't know if the universe gave it to us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. It wouldn't be right to take all the credit for it. But I know when it came to me, it was original. I hadn't heard nobody say it, but I also seen some brothers in the chat saying it as well. So I think the universe went on ahead and implanted it on us. You know, for me, I think it just fit.
Well, whoever coined it, though, whoever brought up and came up with that, it's perfect, because especially aligned with this thumbnail image that I got up on the screen, because that's exactly what this is, bro. That's exactly what this is. You know,
right. It's disgusting that in a combat sport we got grown men sitting around painting each other nails and talking about we not gonna fight each other. You know. It's nasty work.
But check this out, Growing with Soul and chat.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard anybody else break down what I just indicated with the number of fights that we miss out on because of these four?
No.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something though? That's a lot of freaking fights, ain't it?
For sure. Those guys, those four alone could have that would be a tournament in itself.
Exactly. So what you're telling us as people who support the sport, you're telling us that you refuse to give us what we want.
Yeah.
So if you refuse to give us what we want, why should Dana White, Turkey Al-Sheikh, or any of the others who are invested, why should they be paying you millions? Why?
Yeah. I think it'll be short-lived with these guys like this. Because I know Dana is just trying to build up the brand, so he needs the face for the companies. But these guys aren't fighting. I don't see Dana White continuing to give them big contracts. Not these type of fighters, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's also indicative of whenever I see fans that go and really support these type of fighters right here, I think it's indicative of their character too. Because these guys have low morality, they have just characteristics that aren't indicative of men from the past. It's like, damn, it's like their mothers in male, a male skin. It's really disgusting. Really disgusting.
But
I don't know. It seems
what
like,
did I say?
Oh, I'm sorry.
But what did I say earlier about pride in them folks? Huh? They got a lot of that. They got a lot of that. That pride, that'll stop them from, they're not going to do anything to each other. They're going to hold down the fort for each other. Well, get the hell out of our sport then.
Right.
You heard me open the show up talking about Joe Joyce. Unfortunately, got stopped again today in a fight with a guy that's 10 years his junior. And he out here still trying to take it to the max. And he is definitely a guy that's on the downside, and there has been slippage there. But I am in no place to tell him don't fight, because if that's all he know how to do, he gonna do that until he can't no more. But at the same time, people don't show respect and have appreciation for someone like that. You know why? Because of guys like this. A fighter like Joe Joyce has always been crowd pleasing and appealing. But look at the price that he's paid. And he never got a world title shot. And that's unfortunate, because a fighter like he getting a world title shot, that may mean he get lucky and become heavyweight champion. But it's unfortunate that the sport will move people around. Keyshawn Davis has never competed at 147, and they're going to try to make him, Devin Haney's, mandatory? Are you serious? It doesn't equate to sensibility whatsoever. And then you see guys who have held belts like Tank Davis. I think Tank went 3 years without fighting a mandatory. Where they do that at? Hitchens, what he pulled on what's his name? Oscar. What's the guy's name that he was supposed to fight? You there, Growing with Soul?
Yeah. Man, I can't remember the
Come on, chat family, help me out. Who's that? Oscar, what's his name? I can't think of his last name right now.
Yeah.
But he pulled out of the fight after the weigh-in, not before the weigh-in.
Was it Duarte?
Yeah, Duarte, Oscar Duarte. He's supposed to fight Duarte because he was afraid that Duarte might knock him out. But you signed the contract. Right. You signed the contract. You went through a camp. You gave interviews and everything. You go to the weigh-in and all of that. And then the day of the fight, I'm sick. My stomach hurt and I can't go in. Yeah. I can't fight. What? He should have been suspended for a year.
Right.
But they allow these kind of things to take place, foolishness with these type of individuals. And then they keep putting them right there back in front of your face. That's why I got that shady looking Mauricio Suleiman as a ghostly figure behind him, because he's part of the problem too.
Oh yeah. Totally agree. It only diminishes the sport at the end of the day. It's like, how can we get the boxing to be back in its prominence when you see the politics right in front of you, right in front. It's no denying it unless you just a part of the Rainbow Coalition and you have an attraction to these guys. And that seems to be a large constituent. It's a bunch of fans that's running around and they want to get their back cracked like Tank Davis. That feels good. It's a bunch of fans that's running around like Shakur and said, I love Keyshawn with all my heart. Like, When do men say that about other men that isn't their son or their father? This is a different world we living in.
Man,
I'm waiting to wake up. Like, this is the Twilight Zone.
It's so different, bro. It's uncomfortable, isn't it? It's like you feel dirty, don't you? It's like it's like
right.
You know, if you got a itch in a certain area that you can't reach to scratch, and you just so uncomfortable, you're looking to rub up against a wall or something, you know, to get that itch off of you. That's these guys. They filthy, man. And when I say filthy, I'm talking about their whole approach to their profession. Because, dude, you could find some other things to do, like open a nail salon or something. Get out of my sport of boxing.
Yeah, I agree. These guys are more like vloggers than anything. They spend majority of their time on Twitter. And it's, you know, in front of a camera, you know, and they want to look pretty. You know, you see them in the club fighting with women. It's like, okay, it's the bad girls club. But you got smoke for women and other black men that don't agree with you. But all of y'all are cool with Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Make that make sense.
Yeah. And Tiafimo.
Oh, yeah. I don't even call him by his name. That's Telefemale to me, you know. That's Telefemale, Shakisha, and, Queen Sean. That's how I've named them guys. Them gals, excuse me. Those gals. All of that, yeah, they can fight, whatever, that's cool. But I want to see you guys fight your contemporaries. Dare to be great. Otherwise, get out the sport. I don't want to see all of this. It's like we're watching, you know, Dean and Adrian Broner. It's vlogging to me. It's in, you know.
And do you realize between the four of them, there are 3 world titles? Shakur's got a WBO, Hitchens got an IBF, and Tank Davis has a WBA. This is ridiculous. I don't even know what to make, you know, as far as it's like, just imagine if they weren't there, then the stage opens up for so much more. You got a young man in Abdullah Mason who's out here putting together a nice little career for himself, excuse me, and he's only 23 years old. All of these guys are pushing 30. Tank is already 30.
Right.
It's ridiculous, man. And I know we use that word ridiculous to the max, but I can't even think of anything else to say, because I'm looking at them and I'm like, you know what? And after today, I'm not talking about these guys. I'm not. I'm saying what I'm saying about this. I put this meme out there. I think people gonna see that meme and they gonna be laughing and everything, and they gonna get mad, and I don't care. I hope they do get mad, but do something about it in the ring.
Right. It reminds me of it was a skit that on Dave Chappelle's old TV show, the Chappelle Show, Friday Night Sissy Fights. The tyrannical teabagger. God, dog. Yeah, these dudes.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And when I bring it to my people, I go, you know, my thoughts is, if these guys' careers were to end today, what would be their greatest accomplishment, and how would people talk about their career? You know, I think sometimes I see some content creators give guys certain type of accolades that they aren't deserving of, like maybe, you know, give them the nod for Hall of Fame, things like that, you know. And I don't know. I don't think maybe Shakur, if his career were to end right now, he might make the Hall of Fame just based on his accolades. But he doesn't have a real name
well,
that
hold on. Let
me
me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there.
Okay.
To put things in perspective regarding something like that, there is a possibility that he could make the Hall of Fame, and the reason would be because of he's won a title in multiple weight divisions. Like he started at featherweight, right? So he won the WBO vacant featherweight against Joet Gonzalez, who wasn't a world beater himself, and that was in 2019. And then he got the super featherweight title against Jamel Herring in 2021. And then
Oscar Valdez.
He unified it with Valdez in 2022. And then he moved up and won the lightweight title that was vacant against Edwin De Los Santos. Now check this out. I'm getting ready to put another spin on this whole thing. Chat and Growing with Soul. Listen to me very carefully. Though he moved through 3 weight divisions and won world titles, guess what? Guess what? Are you listening?
Loud and clear.
He didn't win them against a reigning titleist. They were vacant titles. And the fight against Valdez had a title, so he unified with Valdez. So Valdez, that's the only champion that he fought for the world title. The other 2 were vacant. Now, the Hall of Fame will look at that exactly like I'm telling you. He got more to do. He may make it at a later date, but he's definitely not first ballot. He's not. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So don't let anyone out there, excuse me, I didn't mean to overtalk you, but don't let anyone out there tell you different. Because look at how long it took James Toney to get in the Hall of Fame. Do you think that James Toney, for his career, is a better fighter and been in better fights than Shakur Stevenson?
Unequivocally. Come on. James Toney's resume is so stacked, and what he's accomplished, yeah, for sure, without a doubt.
But he wasn't first ballot.
Which is insane in my opinion.
Exactly. So you see what I'm saying? It's like you think about this and you start, see, this is the kind of thing that when I said he's talking to Shannon Sharp, that's one thing. But you talk to me, I'm going to give it to you different. The facts don't lie. You can't control history. You can't erase it and change it to what you want to be. We got it on documentation, brother. You got more to do. And the way that you're moving now, you said to Shannon that you don't fight but twice a year anyway. Dude, you ain't going to accomplish that in the next 3 to 4 years because you don't want to fight. You got 12 fights on the table right now. And he ain't trying to see none of them because they too busy loving each other from head to toe. So it's like, listen, again, I just broke this down. Remember, you got channels out there that is far bigger than me. And they not breaking it down like what I'm telling you Because I'm telling you the freaking facts. This is not fanboy service. This is not sucking up or deriding or any of that. As the brother Tay Jones say, put it in the fax machine and see how it comes out.
Yes, indeed. I mean, it's boxing. Who cares if your favorite fighter loses? Somebody has to. You know? I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, man, but that's all I wanted to do was just call in, show some support, send you some love over here, Sensei. None of the Shakur and Keyshawn love, you know what I'm saying? Because Keyshawn and Shakur, you know, they love each other with all their heart.
Yeah.
I guess they over there with that Thailand and the Philippines love.
Listen, man.
they got that boy love for one another. But yeah, man, salute to the chat. Keep cooking them, Sensei. That means it's hilarious, and I'm gonna share. Make sure I share this live in my community.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, you take it easy.
Will do. Peace.
Peace. That's the brother growing with soul out there with that testosterone update. Yeah. Man, these guys are ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Joe Gagliardi out there, he says, great stuff, Stormy. Facts. I'm fed up with these guys and their nonsense. If they're not going to fight each other, just get out of the sport. It's disgusting. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And you know what's worse? Shitty because I ain't called him that all show, but I'm going to call him that right now because he might be out there listening. And guess what? So what? I ain't told no lies on you. You understand? And even if you don't want to listen, somebody going to get it to you because you out there listening anyway. When you was talking about somebody getting the F and everything, when you was talking to Shannon Sharp, Stormybman is the one that hands out the F pluses, brother. And I've been doing it for 7 years. So sit down somewhere. Sit down somewhere and take some damn notes to learn something. You ain't the best boxer that we've seen. I've been on this earth for 60 years. I ain't seen you measured up with any other great boxers that I've seen. They would run circles around you. Not even run circles. They would box circles around you. They'd have you so confused and you be worried about, oh, I hate to lose. Yeah, that's you right there. That's you. Okay, Stephen L. I got you. Yeah. Brother Stephen L. is out there. Yeah, man, this is, I don't know, you guys. I can't co-sign to the foolishness, bro. I can't. But the lines are still open if somebody else want to call in and talk about it, man. Because the 12 bouts, that's a hell of a lot of bouts, man, that we don't get from these four. The quartet, The corset quartet. Hey, Chiquila, how's that? The corset quartet. Yeah, man. Stephen L., if you're free, call in, bro. Call in. Man. Okay, we got 225 in the building. I think that's my brother, 225 Boxing Talk. What's good, bro?
Hey, Stormy, I can barely hear you. How we doing today, though?
I'm doing good. You can't hear me?
Oh, I can hear you good. I can hear you good now.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a minute.
Take a minute for the register.
Yeah. Your thoughts on this, man? I know you've been out there listening and everything, but your thoughts on this. And I'll ask you, just like I'm asking everybody the same question, because have you heard anyone break down the numbers of what I said about these four? The fact that they're not going to fight each other, are running such interference in boxing, they're taking 12 fights off the table. 12.
No, I have not heard that number 12. I have not heard one really break down the fights that we missing between these four competitors. No, I never heard. I ain't hearing nothing today like that, and it's real eye opening when you put it like that too.
Yes. And that's what I've been always trying to do on my channel, is open people's eyes. People will shut up and block you out and go somewhere else. They might listen or whatever, but they don't support and all of that. But dude, I haven't told no lies.
Nah. Them 12 fights, and they could rearrange the course of boxing history for these dudes, you know.
And I said that there's 3 titles between the 4 of them. Shakur's got a WBO. Hitchens got an IBF. Tank has WBA. Come on now. It's ridiculous. And then when you think about it, the matchups could be so that they may even warrant rematches. And some of them we've shown and proven, Shakur, Tank Davis, they don't believe in rematches. Because Shakur should have definitely rematched De Los Santos. He ain't thinking about that. And Tank Davis should have rematched Lamont Roach. And we know what he did. He'd rather go and fight Jake Paul at over 200 pounds than to face Lamont Roach in a rematch.
Yeah, to see that Lamont Roach work again. Crazy work.
Yeah.
But I love how you broke that down, the 12 fights. That's really eye opening. It's like, dang, that's a lot of fights, man. It's over 10 fights. It's like,
and we're talking about across 3 weight divisions: lightweight, super lightweight, and welterweight. It's like you're running interference. That's why this meme is called Girlfriends Running Interference in Boxing. That's what the name of this meme is. You just can't see. I didn't put the meme where you can see the name of it. But when you think about it like that, they're clogging lanes wherever they are. If you're at lightweight, there's a blockage. If you're at super lightweight, there's a blockage. If you're at welterweight, there's a blockage. Now, how would you say at welterweight? Well, we know that Richardson Hitchens is not going to fight Devin Haney. We know that. But Shakur, who could fight Devin Haney, is demanding that he come down to 144. Blockage. He
swears to everyone. Richardson swears to everyone he'll fight Devin, but he talking about Devin. He still ain't talking about giving Oscar Duarte his run back. What happened to your stomach? You got your Pepto-Bismol? What's going on?
You see what I'm saying? You You see what I'm saying?
You still got unfinished business with your boy. Your boy gave you the shits. You had the runs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't doodle before the fight, you know what I'm saying? Compose yourself and go out there.
But check this out. Check this out. I don't think Shakur, you remember he was calling Shannon ignorant, right? He was calling you. Did you hear the interview?
Yeah, I listened to some of it.
Yeah, but did you hear the part where he was calling Shannon ignorant?
Yeah.
Okay, check this out.
And he don't know nothing about boxing.
Hold on, check this out. Let me show you how ignorant he is. What was the news regarding him this week? What did he just do?
Signing Zuffa.
Okay. Now, listen up, chat. Here come his ignorance. He just signed what they said, a multi-fight and a multi-year deal. Okay? And he said that to Shannon, he said that I don't fight but 2 times a year anyway. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Here come the ignorant part. When Dana White and Zuffa and the gentleman that he's partners with Zuffa, when they started Zuffa, how many weight classes did they tell you it's going to be?
Let's say 6 or 8?
8. So, if there's only 8 weight divisions, do you know what that means?
Oh, how you gonna get the catch weight? How you gonna get your catch weight?
Yeah.
How you gonna get your catch weight, buddy?
Yeah. Salute to the brother BFTB out there. BFTB, I'm finally using this, man. Thank you so much, brother. Listen, huh? Let me say it one more time. Huh? What, how many weight divisions?
8.
Okay. Which means that there are no junior divisions. Huh? So that means that if you're 136, guess what you are?
You a lightweight.
No. If you're 136,
oh, what's the right there above lightweight?
136 is lightweight, brother.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
okay,
135.
Okay.
135 is lightweight. So,
right.
If you're 136, that means you're what?
Oh, you welterweight. You welterweight, buddy.
Bingo. Now, did you hear me? Hold on. Let me slow it down a little bit for those who are a little bit remedial. Okay, check this out. So you signed to Zuffa. Zuffa has 8 weight divisions. Devin is welterweight champion. You want him at 144. But you're presently 140. So in Zuffa, now that you signed, what does that make you?
You're a welterweight, buddy.
Yeah.
You're a welterweight right now at your nice little 144. Yeah.
Now listen. What did he call Shannon yesterday?
Ignorant.
What did I just prove him to be?
Blind to information, ignorant.
You see?
Come back full circle on him, cold-blooded.
Yeah. Salute to Queen 71. I see you out there. Yeah. So the whole point is to be able to challenge the bullcrap that he's telling people, but he's going on platforms where they are not studied up enough to be able to present questions to inquire of why he's not doing what he needs to be doing as a professional fighter. Don't just call people ignorant. Don't call them ignorant. Educate them.
You trying to catch weight? This, it's not looking.
He done signed off on a contract where they don't have junior weight classes, and he's trying to get one of the other prominent fighters that fights under that same promotional company to fight at a catch weight. That doesn't seem too smart to me.
Nope.
Salute to my brother Drew Titan LLC out there in the Rumble rant. He says, that damn meme. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I never watched that show. I just remember the opening. My girlfriend, my girlfriend. That's all I remember. Every time that show came on, I was like, oh, okay, well, this is a woman's show. I'll go ahead and click off now.
Yeah, well,
that's crazy.
Got them all on there. You got them all on there. And right now, that's who they are. They girlfriends. You understand? Instead of being around boxing press conferences and, having these sit downs with people who cover the sport and everything and getting in the ring, having the matches and battles, maybe they ought to be at the beauty shop somewhere, huh? Getting some extensions and waves and braids and all of that stuff and their nails done, huh?
Yeah.
Toenails painted and all of that kind of stuff, huh? I told you they need to be Victoria's Secret models, huh? That's what they need to be.
I don't know where that came from, bro. I don't know where that came from. Who made that? Who made that okay to be painting your nails and this and that? I don't know what to say about the young bloods no more, man. Just Lord help them. Lord help them.
Yeah,
but
we got exactly what we need right now because he done signed the contract. And regardless, Dana could have told him anything. Did you hear Hearn talk about him recently?
Oh, talk about Shakur or Dana?
Yeah,
I ain't hear him talk
Shakur.
No, I ain't hear him talk about neither one of them.
He promoted one of Shakur's fights, right?
Oh, okay.
And so now that Shakur done signed with Zuffa, he basically said he boring as hell.
Man, yeah, everybody. You had that picture up yesterday. Everybody was asleep, bro. Bud was asleep. Andre Wolf. Everybody was asleep, bro. I'm like, dang, bro. Oh, buddy. And then it looked like they fighting they sleep. It looked like they trying to, something happened yet? Oh.
And see, he likes to talk about, it was a couple of fights ago when Devin fought what's his name? Out there. Ramirez. And he was saying, he was 144 when he fought him then a couple of fights ago. Yeah, but Devin has since moved up to 147. And won the world title.
Yeah.
An accomplishment, a merit that you want him to give up, to just throw the belt away, vacate it. For what? He's trying to make fights for the title. And as soon as someone signs to fight Devin at 147, they are going to throw in the Zuffa welterweight title. You do realize that, right?
Yeah, Devin was Zuffa now, so Everybody trying to block Zuffa out of the business. Nah, they look like they here to play. They here to play ball. They here to stay too.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what they do. They're gonna give them a lot of opportunity to promote their weight division. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen. And it's not gonna happen with these guys who want to have catch weights and all of that. That's why they're getting away from that.
All that Canelo weight.
Mm-hmm.
All that rushing it around and I'm 4 pounds this way. I'm 4 pounds north, or I'm 4 pounds south, and this and that. Nah, buddy. You 1 pound 136. Use a welterweight now. Yeah, I ain't never thought about it like that.
A lot of people don't think about it like that. You know why? And this is because, to be perfectly honest, you know, like I call this meme, girlfriends running interference in boxing, right? That's what I call the meme. But you got people out here who produce content, who support these guys, who, like, when they get in their presence and they could ask them solid questions and everything to get things more revealing to the public, they don't do that. They glaze and they glitz and they do all of this other stuff, running interference. So quite naturally, you listen to enough of that stuff and you're like, well, maybe this is just the way it is. Times have changed. No, they're trying to put an angle on things. They're trying to give you a certain type of narrative. But when you know better, you think you can think clearly of this foolishness. By the way, since I mentioned his name several times, Devin Haney.
Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.
So yeah, no junior weight divisions in Zuffa. None.
Yeah, I wonder what that fight gonna look like now.
It's looking like he done got himself in trouble due to his own ignorance.
Like that.
And all he did was lie to people. That's all he done is lie to people.
Well, cherry picking interviewers.
Yeah. When he went and got that woman from over in the UK, I knew he was on something strange.
That was crazy. That was nasty work when he got her. And even then, even now, he going on Shannon, and Shannon tried to come back with him.
But see, Shannon, listen, Shannon is a big channel, and he gets all types of celebrities and affluent and influential people. So basically, it's like him sitting down talking with people, but he's not real versed on everybody that he has on. And he probably relies upon whomever helps set up the guests to appear. He probably relies on them and will probably give them a small summary of what he would like to discuss and everything. And then when they come on, that's what they do. But in a moment of freestyling, let's just call it, when he tried to ask Shakur something specific and Shakur responded and then called him ignorant and those kind of things, because I understood what he was trying to say, because it came across like he was saying that Shakur hasn't taken any risks in the ring and that people want to see him in slugfest and, you know, do more than just the hit and not get hit thing that he does. But I, even last night when I did my live, I spoke of that and I said that I understand what Shannon was trying to convey. What he was trying to convey, and I said this last night, was Shakur hasn't been seen in bouts where he's taken on an opponent that is more of a threat to the position that he carries. Now, if he carries himself as one of the great boxers in the sport, let's see him in there with someone who offers either the same or an opposing type boxing style or position, like a Pitbull Cruz, who's going to stir it up. You understand? He may still box the guy, but you want to see him in a situation where you don't look at the fight going in and saying, I think Shakur got this. You want to look at it with more intrigue and say, I would like to see it be more competitive. And that's what's missing. And that's what Shannon wasn't able to convey. Ocho Cinco was not going to do that because Ocho likes Shakur. And he doesn't think whatever Shakur does is flawed. But where I see Shakur not being challenged is in an area where his boxing skills and ability don't get tested. His fortitude gets tested. That's totally different. And there's a handful of fighters out there that can provide that, including Devin, which is why he hasn't readily signed for Devin. Remember, he readily signed for T.O., right?
Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Pitbull's Cruz fight is actually that sounds pretty intriguing now that you mention that, because Pitbull, it's gonna be hard to look good against him, whether you slick or whatever, you know.
But you know what else?
And he don't care about being pretty. He gonna come forward. He gonna muck up the fight.
Yep.
He gonna be in your face. He gonna be in your chest. He gonna put the pressure on you, and he not just gonna sit there and take pictures all day.
And you know what else?
What else?
Shakur don't have the firepower to keep him off of him.
Uh-oh. You got enough posse. That's why he be running away from fighters like that.
Salute to BVO. I see you out there, brother. Listen, there was an opportunity for him to face Lamont Roach. He wouldn't even do that. That's another fight. People forget that fight was there on the table for him too. He didn't take it.
Who that dude, De Los Santos just finished fighting? Rio?
Yeah, El Rayo, yeah.
El Rayo.
He just said he ain't interested in fighting El Rayo. He just said it.
Oh man.
Dude, who are you interested in fighting?
Yeah, you not Mr. And I like how you pointed that out yesterday too. He was like, I'm in a position where you ain't gotta fight nobody. Like, what? How are you in a position? What you talking about? What, you gonna get in the ring and shadow box? What people gonna pay to see that? You know what I'm saying? Nobody doing you gotta fight somebody who what? You don't need to fight. You don't need to fight nobody. You don't need to fight Devin. You don't need to fight no top name contenders. Nobody.
Listen, bro. He gonna fight somebody because Dana ain't having that. Dana gonna get a return on his investment. You better believe that. And as I said to you and the chat, Zuffa don't have junior weight divisions. You either 135 or 147. You can weigh in anywhere in between, but you are what you are.
Man, I actually like the Pitbull fight though, because I thought Pitbull beat Rayo. When I seen that fight, I thought it came down to the last to the last round.
No,
And
no, Rayo beat him, bro. He outboxed him. He won more rounds. I scored the fight. He won more rounds. But
I had the fight. I didn't score it, but I had it even. I was like, man, because Pitbull he took like the middle rounds off.
That's
but
why.
I
That's why you can't listen in a fight like that where someone is competing with you. You can't take rounds off. Now you can do certain things within a round, but understand this: when Pitbull does this, and he did this against Lamont Roach, when a fighter who's like an aggressor who comes forward and presses and applies pressure, when they start dancing around and moving around, they are either trying to, catch wind, take a little time off to regather their forces or whatever, or they may be a little bit confused on how to attack going forward because what they're doing isn't working presently. Now, it could be a combination of those things, or it could be either one of those circumstances individually. But that's how that is. Because if what you're doing is working, you don't stop.
Right. I think he do it because of stamina. I thought he take a couple middle rounds off, and he put it off for that last round, but the judges ain't see it that way. But
Rayo was boxing him, and he was fighting him. He was fighting him and boxing him, which is a great combination for Rayo. But see, that's okay because he got a gift against Lamont Roach. He got a gift against Roach. But again, when fighters are put in certain positions, this is how you see things change up and go about. He wasn't trying to do that. But back to Shakur, what is he going to do? He got all these guys that he don't want to fight, but they want
the walls closing in. The walls is closing in, goddammit.
Yeah.
The walls is closing in. Your ass is going to have to fight somebody, shitty cuz. It's closing in.
Yep.
They're closing in quick, too. They're closing in mighty quick. The man gave you set up here, gave you 144, gave you everything you wanted, all that in the bag of chips. You done signed with Zuffa, not knowing ain't going to be no junior weight, ain't going to be no miscellaneous weight, ain't going to be no you make up your own weight, ain't going to be no none of that. The ball is in your court, man. You got to do something. Now, everybody else in the rest of the girlfriend list. We didn't talk about your boy, Pepto-Bismol Hitchens, Brother Keyshawn Davis, or like you call him, Keyshawn Davis. I'm actually thinking out of all of the girlfriends, he might be the one that would fight. But if he didn't aggravate Bill so bad. Like Bill, I remember Bill was, man, I don't even want to do business with this cat no more. But then Bill, being the businessman, he like, man, I still work with him, but it's just the scheming. It's like they all part of the like what what's it called? What your heading is again for the meme? The blockage. Like all of them running the block play.
Yeah, running interference.
Everybody running their interference. Something gonna have to give.
These guys are something else, man. I'm telling you. And it's like what I said earlier about 12 fights. It's 12 months in the calendar year. So they're taking a year of fights off the table for you guys who love the sport and support the sport. That's ridiculous. And you got Shakur and Hitchinson's are not, they are now both on Zuffa. I don't think that Keyshawn has signed to Zuffa. And I don't think that Tank has signed to Zuffa. So these two guys, they're going to have to fight somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, Keyshawn, he just fought that dude he had to fight again from ESPN. I forgot his name.
He's supposed to fight on the 26th of this month. Ricardo Rodriguez.
Oh, Keyshawn fighting again?
Yeah, he's supposed to fight this guy, Ricardo Rodriguez.
That's good. That's good. Keep him active because you don't want him going.
No, I'm talking about Richardson Hitchens.
Oh, Richardson Hitchens. Oh, so we just forgot about Oscar Duarte, huh?
Oh yeah.
He just, boy.
It don't make sense what's happening though. We need guys who are going to, step up. Again, this guy Rodriguez that Hitchens is fighting, he's got 2 losses on his record and 2 draws. But he's been fighting a lot of Latin fighters. And he's out of Mexico. So he's the typical fighter that Richardson fights. Record of 24 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, but 18 KOs, which means that he can crack a little bit, even if he hasn't been fighting a top-notch guy. He's 27. So against Hitchens, Hitchens only got 8 knockouts, out of 20 fights. And he's been all 4.
Yeah, you sound like you got some pop.
Yeah.
18 KOs, you got to be hitting something.
And because it's on Zuffa, we got to say that this guy, Rodriguez, can fight.
Right.
We can say, because if you've been watching Zuffa, they've had some damn good fights on there, and it's been an upset on every single card, every single one.
Yeah, I didn't see the De Los Santos and Rayo fight, but I seen like clips, and I seen when De Los Santos, man, he reminds me of somebody that's like who he reminds me of a bit of an opportunist. And I say that because when he got knocked down, when he got put down by Rayo, I'm like, all right, he gonna get up? I'm like, why he stayed down? Why did he stay down like that? And then I'm looking at, I'm like, oh, he did get hit while he was going down. He almost took a knee. He did get hit. And I'm like, you know what? I bet you after the fight, he gonna say something like, oh, he hit me when I was down, and that's why, it should have been a point or something like that. And sure shit stank.
Well, this is the thing about that. The position that he got clocked in with that big hook by Rayo, when he was going down, he still looked like he was bending down. He didn't, and Rayo just followed it up with another shot. But, it's when a guy is in that crouched over position, I've seen guys come out of that and throw a shot and hit the other guy and put him in trouble. I remember when George Foreman was fighting Dwight Muhammad Cowie in his second career. And it was on Tuesday Night Fights or something like that, or ESPN. It was one of them. And George had shaken Cowie up a little bit with a combination or two. And Cowie, who was already short at 5'7", kind of bent over. And George kind of stepped back because he was so short. And then Cowie threw a big overhand right and hit George and like made George stop a little bit. It was like Man, George was mad after that, man. He went off on Kawhi, but it was like he snuck that shot in.
I remember he didn't knock him completely out. He kind of like it was like okay, you beat the man into submission type knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of like old fights, I went back to watch that Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah.
And before I get to that, I seen the main event of that card. I was like, well, after I watched Bernard Hopkins and Roy Jones, I was like, who main evented? It was Riddick Bowe and he's not Tony Ferguson, but
Jesse
I forgot.
Ferguson.
It was
Jesse Ferguson.
Oh, Jesse Ferguson.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of De La Santos because I was like, man, this dude, he wasn't knocked out. That dude dove on that floor, man, and didn't want to get up. Bro. That dude, he wasn't knocked out, bro. You ain't knocked out. And then I like how they did it back in the day. They had a whole little interview and stuff about the fighter's background and stuff. And he was like, that's his highest payday or whatever, $500,000. I was like, man, this dude took that $500,000, bro. And then ain't want to do no more rounds. Bro. I'm like, okay, dog. I'm like, all right. And it's just like, it had it. I was like, man, you pulling De La Santos ain't take a dive though, because he did get cracked, but he was trying to bend the rules a little bit. Like, man, you gotta look. If you're gonna take a knee, take a knee. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the dude's job to stop. It is, but it is, but it ain't. You know what I'm saying? The ref supposed to get in there and stop that man from.
Man, they were exchanging some heat between the two of them, and don't forget, the first time they fought, Rayo had him down in that fight too, but he came back around later and knocked Rayo out. So it's like Rayo was very cautious this time. It was like, I think in his mind, it was like, if I get him hurt this time, I'm finishing him. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Proving my point that just because you beat a guy once don't mean that you superior. Now, if they have a third fight, that would be great and entertaining. But I think Rayo would knock him out again.
That was that's who gave Rayo his first loss. It was De La Santos.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that too. I forgot what card that was, but I remember that.
Yep.
That was before, and then after that fight, Rayo had changed his style up. Yeah. He had changed his style up, and he fought Pitbull. Yeah.
Yeah. See, and that's also proof of, like, just because you lose a fight, that don't mean your career is over. Even if you get stopped, it don't mean your career is over. You know, sometimes a guy needs to get hit, put down, or even stopped to make him go back to the drawing board and take care of the mistakes that he makes in his career. That's why Boots said better be careful, because he is still a hittable guy. And he better be lucky that Xander was not a puncher, because if Xander was a puncher, he would have been in a lot worse shape than he was in. But he didn't have to worry about that from Xander, because that was Xander. But the flaw is still there. His head is on center line. He drops his hands. And he is too game to go into exchanges without being a guy where, you know, you could do little subtle things to be at advantages. But if you got a guy who can really crack, all it takes is one.
Yeah, that's the next test. That'd be a good test for Boots. I remember you saying that by Abdullah. Like he didn't have some tests. The dude before the bell, you fought a real scrappy dude that's gonna stay in your face with the Sam cap. I forgot his name. And then Bell, he's a taller fighter. He's a little more ranger.
You know, that's another fighter that Shakur ducked, right? Bell. You know that.
Bell.
That's another guy he could have fought, and he didn't. Dude, there's so many fighters that Shakur could have fought. It's freaking ridiculous, man.
Yeah, the list is just crazy. The list is just.
But he's supposed to be the best in the world. If he
let
fought
him
half of the guys that we're talking about, if he fought Keyshawn and beat him, if he fought Bell and beat him, if he fought Roach and beat him, if he fought Cordina and beat him, do you know how much of a boost to his personal resume that is alone? Then we could say, wow, yeah, this guy's really that. But he ain't fought those guys, so how can we give it to him? Valdez? Are you serious? Joet Gonzalez? Really? Jamel Herring, who was an aging fighter? Come on, man. No, I ain't giving him that. No.
The list just keep getting longer and longer for this dude. The more you think about it. That road gonna run out though. That road running out, bro. He looking at the end of it. He gotta be looking at the end of it.
Yep.
Then what happened to old Shock? What happened to Shock? He ain't trying to fight Shock. Nah, he gonna be stuck between the rock and the hard place sooner or later though. He gonna be stuck between the rock and the hard place.
Listen, O'Shaquie is a darn good fighter. He can try to go to 135 and win a title there. I mean, his victory over what's his name?
Superman.
Scooter.
Raymond.
No, what's his name? The one who lost to Noe Inoue from Philly.
Oh,
you know him.
Dang, what's his name? Yeah, Schofield or Schofield or
no, not Schofield. What's the guy's name that he lost?
I can't think about it.
Fulton, Stephen Fulton. Thank you. There.
Yeah, Stephen Fulton.
Yeah, Fulton. See, that was a very good win for him. And Fulton tried to come in missing that weight. He tried to play them weight games with him, and O'Shaquie still beat the crap out of him. In fact, I don't think you heard from O'Shaquie since, huh?
Fulton since.
I mean, Fulton.
I ain't heard.
Yeah, you ain't heard from him since. Yep. He talked all that talk and went in there. But he's supposed to fight on the 26th also.
Who? Oh, Fulton?
Fulton, yeah. He taking on Liam Wilson.
Okay.
26th of this month.
I remember you before the Inoue fight, and you was telling Fulton, you was like, now Inoue, you fighting this man over there in Japan. You don't need to be trying to see how hard he punch and test your chin, and you won't want to just go in there.
Didn't I say it?
Box. Yeah, you said it, man. And he went in there wanting to see what he can do and wanting to see his pop, and he got popped. And then he's like, damn.
Got popped like a soda on a hot day, didn't he? And he was laying on that canvas. I said, I told that fool not to do that. When you got a guy that can crack, protect yourself. That's like these guys that went in there with Deontay. Deontay was laying guys out left and right, and guys was like, I want to see if it's real. Okay. Next thing you know, they was 9, 10. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is what it is, because it's like you don't.
I told you, fool, don't do it.
Listen, you ever like your parents when you was a kid? They tell you don't do something, right? And you do it anyway, and then they say if your friend gonna jump off a mountain, you gonna jump off a mountain too. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like you at some point you just gotta learn from a distance. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta go through the
experience,
trial.
huh?
You ain't gotta go through the trial and be like, let me see what it feels like. Next thing you know, you listen, you in the damn ER. Beep, 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 hooked up to one of them machines. It's like,
yeah. And the only thing running through your head is, my mama told me not to jump. She told me not to jump. No, I wanted to jump. Now look at
you, man. It's like it's so funny to see these things play out like that, because it's just some people that you just gotta show them, huh? You just gotta show them, and that's okay, because there are lessons out there for everybody. You know.
Yeah. I got to start learning from a distance like that too, Stormy, man. I can't. Goodness gracious. Don't do it. Don't do it. Fuck around and did it, and now look at it. I told you, bro. I told you not to do it. Told you.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. A couple more things I have in my mind besides these fools running interference. But I ain't gonna lie. What's this up? So what's up with this? A couple more things for the fools running interference. This Keyshawn and Devin and mandatory. What's up with this mandatory thing? I'm hearing is they got having a countdown, or they gonna threaten to take the belt up? What's going on?
More foolishness, man. Listen, Keyshawn has went radio silent when it has been determined that Devin is ready to go ahead and fight him straight away. He done stepped out back into the bushes. He done pulled one of them Bart Simpsons or Homer Simpson. You know that meme where he stepped into the bushes? That's Keyshawn right now. After talking all of that, you know, Debo got hit with a brick and all of that and waving his belt around and all of this. Now Devin is like right there, ready for everything. And now he ain't nowhere to be seen.
Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Crazy work.
And see, he can't get 144 out of Devin. You know, he got to go for 147, and he ain't never fought at 147 either. Oh man. Listen. I hope he got his black suit and, you know, got his affairs in order and everything, because it's gonna be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing. From all of his girlfriends.
Dang.
He all of his girlfriends gonna be sitting there ringside with Kleenex.
Yeah. I know Devin. If it was up to Devin, I think he'd be fighting already. He would have been had a fight already.
Yeah, these guys are running they're running the cock block game, bro. It's like, think about it like this.
Like you playing whack-a-mole.
The only one who probably wouldn't fight because he just is not confident enough and he really know what's up is Tank Davis. But I do believe if the other girlfriends weren't all loved up and hugged up like they are, that each one of them would have taken a chance, but the outcome would have been the same for all of them. You see?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And it's very unfortunate because there's money to be made there, but they don't want, and I said this many times over, and I ain't gonna keep saying it. They heard Floyd Mayweather Sr. say what he said about Devin years ago when Devin was still a teenager. And they're jealous. They don't like it. and they're going to do everything they can to disprove it without disproving it. Meaning they ain't going to give him the opportunity or whatever. I said early in this show that Tiafimo sold his O to Shakur because out of all the other guys that he could have fought, including the other girlfriends on this meme, as well as Devin, all of them had a chance to knock his ass out. The only one who was more than likely to not knock him out is Shakur. And do you know why that is?
He ain't got that pop. I remember
Not
you were
only
saying
that,
his hands.
not only that, he don't have the temperament. See, that's that thing that's an intangible that don't nobody talk about him. However, in all of these fights that he's had, even if he's outboxing somebody, who has he gone in there to stop? Liam Perro, who took him in on a 5-day, 6-day notice or something, and he stopped him with body shots because the guy wasn't in shape for fighting, but has become a world champion since Shakur stopped him. How about that? That's his only loss on his record, but he done went out there and took care of what's his name? What's that dude's name? He just beat the one that they wouldn't let Devin fight. From the
almost
UK.
said Callum.
No, the one from the UK. Yeah, Perro went out there and beat old boy.
Yeah, man.
Let me pull it up.
He just had the
yeah, he just beat him. Lewis Crocker last month.
Lewis Crocker.
He just stopped Lewis Crocker. Not stopped him, but he won a unanimous decision over Lewis Crocker last month. So, proving that he's a good fighter. You know, again, Shakur got him 5-6 day notice because that was that when Schofield pulled out the fight. Remember, because he was supposed to be fighting Shakur, and then they faked like they was on life support in the hospital and everything. They couldn't fight Shakur. Schofield. And boy, they've been talking hot poo since that. The two of them, dad and son. Listen, man, get in the ring and fight somebody, bro. Shoot.
Yeah, everybody running around. But that dude had a nice story, man. He was finally able to dedicate himself fully to boxing. You know, he got his all his affairs in order, and he then became world champion.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Mr. Shelton in the chat is correcting me. It was Padley that Shakur won that fight against. But
okay.
Yeah, Padley. Because I was,
Crocker's still holding the belt, 147?
No, he just lost last month to Crocker. Just lost to Liam Perro. I was thinking of Josh Padley though. I was thinking of Josh Padley from the UK, who took the fight with Shakur on short notice.
Okay. And I know they had that other dude.
Listen, Padley has won 4 fights in a row. And has been, because when he lost to Shakur, that was in February of last year.
Oh, okay. Dang, he's been on 4 fights. That's great.
Yeah. And Shakur,
that's great,
only fought Zepeda and Lopez. Salute to Coach Hudson out there in Rumble. I see you out there, Coach Hudson. Good to see you out there, bro. We got Dolores is out there. Dion up next. Who else we got? A couple more people I see. TSO Bodega. Duncan Carter, A Resilient Dad is out there. Jay Grant Jr., CB Sports TV. I'm sorry I missed you guys earlier because we were just talking and cooking it up. Yeah.
Ain't your boy, I forgot his name, but he got robbed against Josh Kelly, or that dude who gave Regis his first loss?
Oh, you talking about Catterall?
Jack Catterall. Ain't he at 147?
Yeah, Catterall's at 147.
Okay.
But he's over there. I think Catterall is still messing around with Eddie Hearn, I believe. And if he's messing with Eddie Hearn ain't gonna let him fight the Dream. You know, he ain't gonna let him fight the Dream.
Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.
You're gonna have to start putting up, man. You're gonna start putting up.
And Catterall is a fighter who has gotten better.
Yeah.
Gotten better. That's the thing, man. Nobody wants to give credit to these guys that they should. It's very unfortunate. But you can't sit around and wait for certain people. You just got to keep your career moving. Just keep moving, man. Just keep moving, because inactivity is a fighter's worst enemy. Yep. Inactivity. So.
But going back to back in the day, watching some of them old fights, and I see with that Bernard Hopkins and that Roy Jones, but another person. Well, let's talk about them right quick. That first fight, it's hard to fight Roy because you got to break his rhythm, but like him having power in both hands makes it a bit challenging. So it gives you a little longer filling out stage. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hello? Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. But
what did you say? I'm sorry. I had a phone call. What did you say?
B-Hop, Roy Jones, and Burt Cooper. That's all that's running through my mind. But
what do you mean about Hopkins and Jones's fight? You thought about that?
Yeah.
You think about Burt Cooper. What about their fight made you think of Cooper?
It ain't make me think of Burt, but it's like I see B-Hop start figuring them out round 5. Round 5, it was really B-Hop round. 6 came around, and I think that was Roy's dad that was in the corner at his time, but Roy got on the jab after that, and then after 6, like I see how you were saying at the end, Roy really started to figure him out, but it just the rounds was a little closer. They gave it to Roy.
Yeah, you mean that Bernard?
I mean, yeah. Bernard started to figure him out.
Yeah. See, this is the thing. That shows that B-Hop had a lot going for him, but Roy, like Boots, he was able to mesmerize people and everything with his speed and his reflexes and everything, and he had a lot of pop on his shots, but he would catch you with something because he was quick, and if he couldn't stun you with it, he would just work through things. But Roy never was boxing. he was doing what Shane Mosley dad called, power boxing. That's kind of like what Roy was doing. It's just that Shane was smaller. But for a guy who was very orthodox and technically proficient, B-Hop, he learned during that fight, which is why he said he wanted to fight Roy again right away. And Roy made sure he didn't fight him again right away. Roy has always maintained that the best fighter he had fought in the ring was James Toney. But the second best might have been Bernard Hopkins. And it's a shame that we never got Hopkins and Toney, because that would have been interesting within itself. I think James Toney would have got B-Hop, though.
You did?
James Toney.
You think James Toney got?
Huh?
You think James Toney would have got B-Hop?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I could see that, because B-Hop, I feel like B-Hop prefers. Well, B-Hop got an inside game, and James do the inside. Like, James do the inside very well.
Well, James Toney would do certain things that a lot of fighters wouldn't do. He had very good defense himself, but he would attack you in a variety of ways. Roy Jones would always refer to certain shock shots that he would throw at people. He called them chin checks. James Toney would throw chin checks too, but he also would do heart checks. And that's where he would lure someone in to do something so he could do damage to him. He tricked quite a few fighters in that way, James Toney. I've seen him even when he was battling up at heavyweight and he fought the Nigerian Nightmare up there. He did it to that guy. He did it to Ruiz. He did it to what's his name? What's that guy's name that he beat?
That cruiserweight?
Cruiserweight, yeah.
They had that war, that dude that just works himself to death.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I just forgot his name.
Yeah. But and then also Michael Nunn. He got Michael Nunn, lured him. James Toney was a hell of a fighter, man. And he had Mike McCallum going to one point during their fight where Mike McCallum fought real hard to get James off of him so he wouldn't be knocked out. But that's not the way that McCallum normally fights. So as long as he was able to keep James off of him, he was okay. And I just did that fight recently on my Turning the Page in Boxing History, covering James Toney and Mike McCallum, their first fight, which was a classic, a throwback classic. You just don't see good boxing like that from two men in the ring these days that often. But,
I seen that fight too. I was on that Ray Mercer and that and I think that Italian guy. I need to catch up.
Francesco Damiani.
Yeah. I was on that with the Turning the Page in Boxing.
Yeah,
that's why I had ran
uppercut out of nowhere, that 45, and hit that guy just perfect on his nose and knocked him.
Goodness gracious!
And he couldn't.
And that stuff hurt, man. That's the only shot in the face that hurt. Getting hit in the cheek and the side of the head and the forehead, even in the eye to a certain extent, it don't hurt like getting hit on that nose, man.
And you
get teary-eyed.
The angle that it went, because that guy had a big nose too. He's Italian, and he hit him on the bridge of that nose. That punch went on that 45-degree angle. So, Damiani, it was like, and he went down, he dropped. It's like it just discombobulated him. And when he got up, it was leaking like a faucet. He couldn't beat the count. He came back and fought a couple more times after that, but he didn't make it to the world class. Do you know that's the guy that Evander Holyfield was supposed to fight when he was gonna have his first title defense. That was Damiani, and then something happened and Damiani fell out, and then Burt Cooper stepped in.
Oh man, Burt. Oh, Burt will give you, if you work in Burt corner, Burt will give you a heart attack about how many shots he'd take. But that man was durable. That man was durable as I don't know what.
You never knew which Burt Cooper you were gonna get.
No, you didn't. You don't know if the dude was.
You know what's funny about him? Now I'm gonna say something, and many people who are fans of this guy, they're not gonna like it, but it's true. Burt Cooper had more heart than Mike Tyson. He was in there against some big guys, and he had some good, victories, and he had some bad ones. Like he was in there against Carl the Truth Williams. I think that's when he lost his first fight at jumping up from cruiserweight to heavyweight. Then he lost to Riddick Bowe. He lost to George Foreman. But then he fought life and death with Ray Mercer.
That's what that Damiani fight brought me to Burt and Ray.
Yeah, and then he fought life and death with Michael Moore. You know what I mean? It was like Burt Cooper was once you got him going, of course he fought life and death with Holyfield. It was like that dude was something else, man. You just didn't know which Burt Cooper you were gonna get on a certain night. And if you got the one that was wound up and ready to fight, you better be in good shape and everything, because he gonna be right in your grill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Salute to Burt Cooper, man. R.I.P. to that man. He had a rough going in life, but he left us with some most memorable fights, man. Do you know that there was a time that he and Tyson were supposed to fight each other?
No, I ain't know that.
Yeah. The Carl the Truth Williams fight is the one that took that fight out. And then Tyson ended up fighting Carl the Truth Williams like a few fights later. But Burt Cooper was supposed to fight Mike Tyson. Could you imagine that? The two of them?
Burt will have you punch yourself out too, and then he'll come back on you. Then you like
he had a sneaky right hand. People think because Joe Frazier trained him for a duration in his career that his left hook was like his dangerous punch. His dangerous punch was this little sneaky right hand that he would throw when he do that cross arm guard, and then he'll throw that short right hand. And he must have had a lot of power on it because he hurt Evander Holyfield with that. And that was the first time that Holyfield got knocked down in his career when he was fighting Burt Cooper. He sent them reeling into the ropes, and Mills Lane called it a knockdown because Holyfield would have hit the canvas if the ropes weren't there. So
Holyfield was in some deep trouble when he got hit with that.
Yeah, they had to pull that trick and cut that hole in his glove to buy him some more time.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with Ali versus Henry Cooper back in the 60s when Ali went over there to the UK to fight Henry Cooper, and Cooper knocked him down, and Ali was out on his feet, and he got up and the bell rang. So he goes to sit back on his stool, and they gave him some smelling salts and stuff to try to wake him up, but he still wasn't all there. So Angelo Dundee cut a little hole in his glove and was like, hey, his glove is broke. And so they had to take time out to change that glove, and Ali.
Yeah.
Then he knocked Henry Cooper out with a bad cut over his eye.
Yeah. Why George think Mills Lane stole the fight from Burt or something?
What?
I think George just wanted to fight Burt because he think Burt was just gonna stay there with him. But I think Mills did. I said George Foreman say that Mills Lane stole the fight from Burt. But I think George just wanted to fight Burt because it have been a good style for him.
Well, yeah, George used to say some goofy stuff. Then sometimes he say some real intelligent stuff with boxing. So there was no telling what George was thinking when he said. But I know one thing: Holyfield hit Cooper with a devastating 3-punch combination with the left hook to the body that dropped Cooper early in the fight. Do you remember that? He hit him with that left hook to the body, and Cooper bent like he had to sit on the toilet.
Yeah, dude, remember that body shot.
Man, Holyfield wasn't a big puncher, but he was a sharp puncher, and the sharpness of those shots. If he caught you clean with a sharp shot, that there's a lot of shock value in that, you know. And he was a hell of a counter puncher. He had one of the best counter right hands that I had seen in boxing. Holyfield.
I thought it was just he had I thought he moved up good. I thought he packed enough weight and he had enough thud on his shots. Like, I think about it like as you go up in weight, you get more thud, more weight on your punches. I think of it as thud. But I know what you're saying, sharp and shock. When you say sharp and shock, I feel like I think about man, how I'm forgetting his main name. The one that faced Sugar Ray Leonard 2 times that knocked out Roberto Duran. Tommy Hearns. I think about Hearns when I think about sharpness and precision.
Yeah.
And I think about thud when I think about somebody like Mike Tyson. I think about thud like boom, like. And I think about sharpness and precision like a sniper shot.
Well, hold on. There's a couple of things with Tyson. Because there was a time when Tyson was very sharp with his punches. When he got away from Kevin Rooney, that went away. He was just loading up with bombs after Kevin Rooney. See, most people, when they watch Mike Tyson knockouts, they would see the guys going to the canvas after shots being landed. But Mike Tyson was a combination punching fighter who would punch off of leverage and movement. And he would catch people, but always follow up with like the one shot that'll shock you, like boom, and then it's boom, 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 and now you're down. You understand? But that stopped. He started just loading up with bombs. And when guys load up with bombs, you can brace for them. You can see the shots coming. You can see them tense up. And that's why it changed. But when he was throwing punches in combination, there was a sharpness behind it. And there was a very precise, his punches were very accurate because he knew how to punch to a salute to I Am Trill Will out there. There was a certain way that he would punch in certain places, that he would place the punches, because Custody Amato had a number chart that they would use, but he knew the punches to throw and the desired effect that would happen behind it, because you can place the punch perfectly and you'll get a reaction, but you need to know the combination or the follow-up shot to throw after that. And that's where Mike was really good early in his career. Even to the degree, like when he knocked out Trevor Berbick for the WBC heavyweight title, when he threw this short right hand on the inside with Trevor Berbick, but you know, he would throw the body shot and the uppercut behind it, right? But he would follow with a left hook. He threw that left hook and hit Trevor Berbick on his forehead. And that dude went down because he knocked his equilibrium off. And when he went to the canvas, he couldn't get his legs back under him. That's why he fell 3 times. But, you know, Tyson, those were sharp punches. See, most people, when you're thinking about someone hitting someone, the impact of the shot and it landing and stuff, you could get carried. But when a guy is throwing sharp shots, you kind of would rather a guy who punches like George Foreman hit you, because that's a bludgeoning shot, right? A bludgeoning shot, and it just sends quivers and shockwaves through your body. But that sharp shot, it catches you, and it's almost like it'll put you to sleep. You know, you follow shot wake you up, because it's like, and Holyfield, I'm going to tell you something. Holyfield was so good at that But there came a point in his career where he stopped doing road work. And I can tell when it happened, because road work is very important. I see Coach Hudson out there. He's saying, teach, cook. Yeah, listen, Coach Hudson, tell these guys about road work, bro. The road work. If you got the road work in, there's something about your ability in whatever your good stuff is. It's better because of the conditioning. The road work is the real conditioning. Hitting the pads and all of that, that's bull crap. But that road work, shadow boxing, and you get on that big bag and you throw those proper combinations and everything and let those shots go, that's where the real work is. The real work.
See, that remind me of that knockdown he had on Riddick Bowe in that last fight before Riddick Bowe knocked him out. When that little surprise knocked down that little last hurrah Evander had, I was thinking about that as stud. But I like how you break it down, like when you say someone loading up and it's almost like George Foreman, you can see that big wide hook, or you see big wide uppercut, and you can kind of brace yourself for it, versus somebody it's like quick, like that sharpness is like quick. It's like samurai sword versus a big old hammer or something.
Well, see, when Holyfield fought Bowe in the third fight, he went into that fight and he was carrying some illnesses and stuff like that, which that's not an excuse, but he wasn't doing his road work then. And he was running through them women though, making them babies, but he wasn't doing the road work and training. And he got to a point in that fight where he thought he could knock Bowe out, and he just threw caution into the wind, and Bowe caught him. But again, that was, to me, he didn't feel like boxing that night. He didn't feel like being the fighter he needed to be to win that trilogy. But that's okay, because that brought his ass back down to earth a little bit, because he was a little bit full of himself at that time, and Bowe taught his ass a lesson.
But that Bert Cooper, bro, like you say, you ain't know which one you was gonna get. You don't know if he was gonna be getting outboxed and he just say, I'm done, y'all, I'm done with the fight and give up. But if you had that one that refused to go down, that you can hit him with everything. You can hit him with, everything. I was seeing him versus Ray Mercer. I'm like, because I seen the Holyfield fight before the Ray Mercer fight. And I thought Holyfield was hitting him with shots. I'm like, good God, Bert. Ray is hitting you with everything. I'm like, and this dude don't want to go down. And I seen Ray Mercer jaw after that. Good.
He looked like a chipmunk with you know how chipmunks put their food in that pouch in their mouth. That's how Ray Mercer jaw looked after that fight. And he said, it was like, in their post-fight interview, he was like, they talk about fighters being in wars and being able to pull them out. He was like, well, I had mine. He's like, I hope I don't have to have no more.
I wouldn't want no more after that deal. Look, I didn't have mine, bro. This it right here. I have evidence. My jaw.
Man, that was a great fight too. Them guys, they went to battle, bro. Those two guys.
They went to battle.
Mercer and Bert Cooper. Man, what a fight that was. That fight was like that. And then Michael Moore's fight with Bert Cooper was like that. And then Michael Moore's fight with Alex Stewart. That was a doggone good fight, man. Because Stewart, listen, a lot of people never gave him credit. But his first loss was to Holyfield. But Stewart came into the Holyfield fight with a record of like 23 wins and 23 knockouts or something like that. It was like Alex Stewart could punch, man. And I remember him fighting Holyfield, and Holyfield opened up a cut over his eye. and he was hitting Holyfield with these right hands, and Holyfield was just standing in front of him, bouncing and pulling his trunks up, and Stewart was like, doo-doo, hitting him with like 1-2s, and Holyfield was taking those shots on the chin. I was like, man, get your damn hands up. What you doing? Because, you know, Alex Stewart could punch, but he ended up stopping Stewart on cuts. And when Stewart fought Michael Moore, same thing. He hit Michael Moore with that 1-2, boom, boom. And Moore was like stumbling around and stuff. Man, Michael Moore, he had to pull out the war out of himself to knock Alex Stewart out. That was a damn good knockdown, drag out fight right there, bro. And that's when HBO was really giving us some great matches. Salute to
check
Joe
that one
Thompson out there. I see you out there, Chill Town. What's good? Yep. But man, I tell you, man, even to go back and talk about these fights like what we're talking about, do you think somebody's going to be going back talking about these guys? No. Ain't nobody going to be thinking about these guys. Abdullah Mason is leading a new charge. That era with him, the era with Xander, the era with who else is on the horizon? Boots and these young guys. That's who people are gonna be remembering. They ain't gonna remember these suckers right here. They ain't gonna remember. For what? For pantyhose commercials or something? Get out of here with that.
Man, they gotta throw down, bro. 12 fights. 12 fights. That's a fight every month of the year.
Yep. Yep. That's what that is.
Running interference.
That's exactly what they're doing. Running interference. So
I gotta catch that latest you said that James Toney versus McCallum. They had 3 fights, right?
They had 3, but the first fight was the one. The first fight was the one. It was supposed to be a unification of the WBA champion McCallum against the IBF champion Tony, and the WBA was playing these damn games that you see them playing today. They kept, first of all, they wanted a certain amount for the sanctioning fee for the fight, and then they were playing around with the fact that they didn't know if they wanted to sanction the fight for McCallum, even though they had already signed for the fight and everything. So McCallum said, screw you guys. I'm just going to fight him anyway. And James Toney was like, yeah, let's just fight anyway. So they fought for James Toney's IBF title. I talked about it on the show when I did that show, Turning the Page. But, man, what a fight that was between those two guys. I said, if you watch those two fighting in that first fight, you can learn everything. You think like it's a fight from the 50s or something, because that's how good the skill level was between the two men. And guess what? On that night on TVKO, you had Marvelous Marvin Hagler sitting ringside doing color commentary. And he was complimenting both guys on, you know, their efforts, you know, because that was at middleweight.
Yeah. I remember watching that fight, and I remember as the fight went on, Tony looked at fresher. I was like, man, Tony is not getting tired. I don't know why this man is not tiring out.
He had better defense than Mike McCallum did. And Mike McCallum was a little bit older too. I think Tony was 24 at the time when they fought, and Mike McCallum was 30 plus. But they were still, for Tony to be such a young fighter, he was so skilled that his skill level was on McCallum's level. So it's like when you look back on that and you reflect, it lets you know that, you know, you could talk about guys being young or whatever, but if they're schooled and tooled, let them go. That's what we're seeing with Abdullah Mason. He's 23 right now, 22, 23. He's of that ilk. And
right.
These other guys talking about how great they are, but not getting in the ring to show greatness. It's like later for them. Later for them. There are people that you should support, and there are people that you shouldn't even think about.
Yes, sir. But I had a good chat with you, Stormy.
Yeah, my brother. I
showed,
appreciate
I
when you
showed,
call. We always have a good chop up when you call in. So that's why I don't stop
yes,
because you
sir.
bring some good stuff and bring the conversation out. So I appreciate that.
I appreciate you breaking down the different types of power, because I've always noticed it, but it was just hard for me to really comprehend. Like, okay, this man, like you said, this man is loading up, but this man is bringing a different type of power. You know, this man is loading up. He hitting you with all he got. He putting his all into it. And then the other guy, another type of power is like a sharpness, it's like a shock. It's like you get hit and it's like it frees you almost. Yep.
Yep. There are differences. And it also depends on when a guy, this is another thing that the great fighters who are defensively responsible, they know this, that they can gauge where a guy can get his best shots off, and they take that away from them, because certain fighters are good at certain distances with their power. And if you take them out of that comfort zone of where their power is most effective, then that's what gives the illusion like, oh, his punches don't have the same effect. No, it's not that. A seasoned fighter knows how to gauge where the danger zone is, because sometimes the danger zone is in too close. Sometimes the danger zone is at mid-range, and sometimes the danger zone is at range. And if you can get the person out of the proper distance where their punching power is best, then that makes it a more difficult fight for them.
Right. Get it? Okay. Yeah, and taking down notes, getting more tips. Okay.
Yeah. See, like Mike Tyson, his best and effective, some people might think he was great on the inside. Mike Tyson was not an inside fighter. Mike Tyson was best at mid-range, because he could slip, bob, and weave, and because he threw looping shots. So his looping shots, hook to the body, uppercut to the head, hook to the head, overhand right to the head. That's from a certain distance. That's not in close.
Right.
That's like mid-range, dangerous. However, you take a guy like George Foreman, and his punching power is so, destructive that it's in close to mid-range. If he catches you at the end of his shots, he could hurt you there too, because he's naturally strong, but it's mid-range to in close. When I saw him knock out Jerry Cooney, because that was when Evander Holyfield was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. When I saw how George Foreman knocked out Jerry Cooney, it looked like he planted him in the canvas the way Cooney fell. I was like, Holyfield better watch out, because that's when I knew George had his power back, because there were a series of fights that he fought. He fought like 20-something fights before he challenged Holyfield. Come back in his career after that 10-year layoff. And those I would say the last 8 to 10 fights, his power returned, because when he was fighting the lower level dudes, he was still hurting them or whatever. But when he started fighting guys like Burt Cooper and, certain guys, Pierre Coetzer and all of that, Jerry Cooney, his power started to come back. And I was like, oh, he going to be dangerous. And I remember him on an ESPN interview the week before the fight with Holyfield. It was a week before or 2 weeks before, where Charlie Steiner from ESPN went out to George's farm to interview him. And he was pulling this Jeep up the driveway and stuff. He had a Jeep attached to it and stuff. And George was chopping wood and lifting weights. He was doing curls, making his arms bigger, And I was like, man, this dude is something else. He was like 37, 38 years old. He was, George was, man, it was totally different. But Charlie Steiner asked him, he was like, you think that you're going to knock out Holyfield? And George was like, yeah. he was like, 2 rounds. I'm giving him 2 rounds, and then it's gonna be bang, and then it's all over, and then we'll be hugging and everything, and I'll be heavyweight champion of the world. George was serious. But the thing is, on fight night, in the second round, you guys can go back and watch it for yourself. George Foreman had this strong jab, and he was hitting Holyfield with the jab, but the jab was knocking Holyfield off balance. So when he would throw the right hand behind it, he was missing because he was looping the right hand. If he threw it straight, he would land it, but he was looping it. And there came a sequence where he jabbed Holyfield, and Holyfield's back went against the ropes, but the jab was so powerful that George, when he hit Holyfield with the jab, Holyfield went back into the ropes, and George threw an overhand right. It just missed Holyfield's chin because of the force of the jab, knocked him far back. And it
knocked him out of range.
It missed it. The right hand missed his chin, and George followed up with a left hook that hit Holyfield on the side of his forehead, the right side of his forehead. And Holyfield immediately fell into a clinch. I was like, if that right hand would have landed, Holyfield would have been out, because that's the punch that he was looking to throw and land, but the jab was too strong. And he was so busy trying to win the heavyweight title, he was hitting Holyfield with some good stuff, but he didn't gauge his own strength. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why when you saw him knock out Michael Moorer, he tricked Michael Moorer, because Teddy Atlas was telling Michael Moorer to move, don't stand in front of him. He's an old guy, and he needs you to stand in front of him to be effective. So he's going to try to slow you down, but don't fall for that. Just move. Keep moving. And Michael Moorer wasn't listening to Teddy Atlas. And so in like the 9th round, George started throwing these wide left hooks. And Moorer, who had been throwing a good jab himself, instead of stepping out, weaving that hook or whatever, or covering up, and he started dipping forward under the hook to go under it. And that was George moving him into the right hand. And so he threw, in the 10th round, he threw a 1-2 at Moorer, but he didn't put power on it. He threw a 1-2, boom, boom, and Moorer just stood there. So when George recognized he didn't move, he threw a second jab right hand, but the right hand that he threw behind that jab was the one he didn't throw on Holyfield. It was a shorter right hand. It was lower, right on the chin, and knocked Moorer completely out. And the funny thing about it was, at the post-fight press conference, Michael Moorer was saying he got lucky or whatever. George didn't get lucky. He set him up. That was experience. Right. And Michael Moorer to this day is pissed off that people say that George set him up or whatever. He just don't want to believe it. But dude, you got to call a spade a spade. When George hit him with that shot, it was a total setup, because he thought that George's power had waned in the later rounds. George is the type of man that it didn't matter what round you were in. His power was there. It's not like Ernie Shavers. Ernie Shavers didn't have, though he could hit harder than George, he didn't have stamina after 4 rounds. 5 tops. Shavers was tapped out by that time. George could continue to fight in his second career beyond 6-7 rounds. He could go the distance and still have that power. That's how he was able to knock out Michael Moorer.
Beautiful. Because, like you say, he got him real comfortable.
Yeah.
He got him real comfortable. Sitting there, and I remember Teddy Atlas used to stay having to yell at Moorer, because I remember he was yelling at him in the Evander fight. He was like, man, you could be doing more damage.
Hard head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was like Michael Moore, hard head, bro. It's like he knew he could punch and he knew he could knock people out, but he was almost kind of guy like didn't want the coach tell him nothing. And you know, the coach is there for a reason.
Yeah.
When he got in there with David Tua and the bell rang for the first round and he started backing up, I said, Tua getting ready to knock him out. And a few seconds later, Tua had him. That's not a guy you just go out there and start backing up. And Moore was the type of fighter that could put something on Tua, but whether he came to fight that night or whether he just, you know, I don't know what was in his mind, but the bell rang and they walked to the center of the ring and he started taking steps backwards. I was like, this is not going to work out for him. And a few seconds later, Tua had him knocked out. He was supposed to go out there and stick something in Tua's mouth right away because Michael Moore could punch. He was a very good puncher, even though he came up from light heavyweight. He could really crack. And, you know, it's like getting the best out of him was a laborious task. When he worked with Georgie Benton and Lou Duva, they had him in some of the best shape of his life because he had abs and everything at heavyweight. He left them, and I guess it was because they was working his ass too hard. He left Emmanuel Stewart, who was his first trainer. He didn't want to work there. So he got with Teddy. Teddy spoke the kind of language that he could listen and deal with, but he still didn't have that proper, I'm a go get it, I'm a killer type mentality. I don't know what was wrong with Michael Moore, but he was definitely a dangerous fighter. And had a lot of heart too. That second fight with Holyfield must have dropped him about 25 times. He kept getting up till the referee finally stopped it. That ain't no punk. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Man, I had it good back in y'all days, bro.
Yes, sir. Why you think we're so critical of these guys of today? Because we could see the fall off. It happened in the era going toward the end, the twilight of Floyd Mayweather's era. That's when it started to taper off. And then all the young upstarts after that just came along and it was like, you know, it got bad.
Yeah, I feel like they probably was against the. I remember I was going down the rabbit hole on Pernell Whitaker, and I had seen. I think that was his first loss. Where the dude ain't touch him the whole fight. He was circling the outside of the ring, moving the whole fight, the whole 12 rounds, and they gave it to the other dude. And so in the rematch, Pernell had stepped to him, and it made him. It's like the judges made him change his style to win the fight. And Pernell, he showed me in this fight that he always had that. He always had that in his arsenal where he can actually step on the pace and put punches together.
Let me tell you a secret about Sweet Pea Whitaker, bro. Sweet Pea Whitaker was a puncher, but he hid it behind his natural boxing talent and ability. He didn't like to try to knock people out. He liked to beat you 12 out of 12 or 11 out of 12 rounds because in his mind, to box you to a point where you can't win a round is better than knocking you out, because when you get knocked out, he'd say, you make an excuse and say, oh, I just got caught. I forgot to duck. You know, he caught me with a shot I didn't see, blah, 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 blah. But
okay.
How do you explain that you never won a round. You understand?
Yeah,
So
right.
That was his mindset.
It was more fulfilling to him.
Yeah, that was his mindset. But he had a fight against this Cuban guy, Diabeles Hurtado, where Hurtado came out and Pernell was like playing around with him early in the fight, and he got dropped early.
Yeah, that's the fight. Yeah, that's the fight that showed me.
And then
he
got up, he was smiling, he was like, "Oh, I ain't hurt or nothing. It just caught me with a 1-2, and I went down." And Hurtado got up, and they were boxing some more, whatever, and he dropped Pernell a second time in the fight. And so, you know, he was outboxing him and moving around and stuff. And they got to the championships rounds, where rounds 10, 11, 12, and Georgie Benton and Lou Duval was telling him, "You behind, you got to go out there and do something." And he went out there in the 12th round and he knocked Diabeles Hurtado out. One of the most brutal knockouts of the year.
Yeah, man.
Caught him with an overhand left, had him sagging on the ropes, and was just pounding him into submission on the ropes till the referee jumped in and stopped the fight, where Hurtado was just kind of hanging over in the ropes. Sweet Pea did exactly what he needed to do. And, you know, anybody think that that's a lie, or would go back and watch the fight. He was in there with Roger Mayweather. He dropped Roger Mayweather. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Roger was a good fighter, man, and humiliated him because Roger had a problem with his trunks, where his trunks was sliding down, but you could see his protector, right? And Sweet Pea had dropped him, and he got up during the count and everything, and Sweet Pea walked over and pulled his trunks down a little more. Taunting. Sweet Pea was something else, man. People don't understand.
Right.
So when you got guys like Shitty Cuz trying to compare himself to guys like that, dude, you don't have nowhere near the mentality of these fighters of yesteryear. They would eat you as a freaking hors d'oeuvre. Not even an appetizer, an hors d'oeuvre. You know, an hors d'oeuvre is different from an appetizer, right? An appetizer is what they bring to you, and you can have that before your meal. It's like, you know, little breadsticks and some dipping sauce or whatever.
Yeah,
but an hors d'oeuvre is a motherfucking piece of cracker with a piece of fish on it or something, and they bring, "Would you like an hors d'oeuvre, sir?" And you, "Oh yeah, it's got a little toothpick sticking in it or whatever." You might eat more than one, but it's still just one little thing. That's an hors d'oeuvre. That's what these motherfuckers are right here that you're looking at. Yeah.
Let Shaquille tell it though. He Sweet Pea. Let Shaquille tell it. He the man. He can box. He the best boxer ever. He the best boxer in this generation. Let him tell it.
Welcome to Fantasy Island. Welcome to Fantasy Island. That's all I gotta say about
that dude. I feel like they made him change his whole style. Like because when they stole that victory, when they gave Sweet Pea his first loss, and he boxed that dude 12 rounds. I think it was some Mexican fighter. They hand gifting the decision. It's like, man, I felt like he couldn't do that no more. Even with De La Hoya.
Yeah.
Like him being on the outside, not getting touched, him being clean. Like, I don't know why people had a problem with scoring the fight like that. I don't. Yep. Man is getting hit, not getting hit. And I don't see nobody outside. I ain't gonna lie. Him and Ali, they had them two had one of the most talented outside games I didn't seen.
Yeah.
Very talented. I wish, I don't know if you can really teach somebody. And then he used to do things you're not supposed to. This man was walking, because Sweet Pea would walk. He would walk and cross his legs. And that's against the boxing code. You're not supposed to cross your legs when you're fighting in the ring. You're not supposed to cross your legs. You're supposedly off balance. But he had a way of staying in his stance when he did it. He could stop and be in his stance. And Ali, he was just doing his own damn thing. He was just floating, hands down, bouncing, floating, bounce off the rope.
Yeah.
He was immaculate. Y'all had it good, bro. Y'all had it good.
Yep.
Y'all had it good.
And now we're longing for those days again because these guys of today are so horrible. But yeah, I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up. 2:25. I gotta go, man. I ain't even had my dinner. I've been on here so long. I ain't even had my dinner, man. So
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm cooking mine, so
yeah.
I hope you can catch up.
Yeah. But I appreciate you calling in, bro. And I appreciate everybody that's out there because we have some people watching today. So it's good stuff, good support for the show this evening.
I sure appreciate it, Stormy. Thank you for the knowledge, the wisdom, and just a good boxing conversation.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, man. Thank you for your support. Thank you.
No problem. All right, now.
All right. Take care. Peace to you, bro.
Okay. Peace and blessings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What a show, man. This has been a very interesting evening of I appreciate some of the entire time people were in and out, and there were people that came in late. I thank everybody. I mean, we did a good Saturday afternoon, evening show here. Very good. But just know, these guys running interference in boxing, you're not going to see the fights that you want to see because of what these guys are doing. It's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. What kind of mess is this, man? Shoot. But that meme is something else, ain't it? That's a heck of a meme, man. Girlfriends running interference in boxing. Yep. But yeah. We're gonna get ready to get out of here. Gonna pay some bills first. But shout out to the mighty LDBC. Appreciate you guys.